Instant messaging is a powerful tool for communication, and like any technology, it should be used pragmatically. This means it should be used sparingly as a method of communication, used only when necessary, so that dependency on it doesn't form. Instant messaging is an extension of the voice. It can be thought of as a delayed conversation of sorts. If someone messages you about something, you say you heard this happen, despite the fact that you actually read it. Instant messaging can change the way people read and interact with each other because they're now able to communicate with people across the world with relative ease. Through a computer, distance doesn't really matter with instant messaging. You're able to communicate with people that you may not see in your everyday life through instant messaging. You can talk to friends in different countries, across the world, across the city, anywhere, as long as they have a computer and active internet connection. This makes it a lot easier to stay connected to people than before because telephones can get expensive if you go out of country costs, and you can talk to people at your own convenience. And you can even leave your conversations mid-thought just as long as you tell them, and it's okay. You can also leave up away messages to try and discourage conversation if you're trying to do something important or if you just don't want to talk to certain people. You can actually block them from your buddy list. There are certain elements lacking from this type of social interaction. For example, when you talk to someone online, there are no facial expressions. You can't see if someone's smiling or frowning, or if their tone, you can't hear their tone. So you can't really tell if someone says something in a bad mood or a good mood, or if they seem really sad about what you say. You can't tell how it affects them despite how they respond. So you may say something that's hurtful, but they may respond by laughing at it online, which isn't how they really feel, which can create a miscommunication in your conversations. Also, talking to someone late at night through instant messaging can disrupt your sleep schedule. It can interfere with homework, school, work, anything that you need to do may be disrupted by your use of the computer. Also, people may start to stay at home more often and rely on their online social interactions for their socializing. This can prove detrimental to people because they may not be able to go out and have more fun in real life because of their active social life online, which may not be a bad thing for some people who work a busy lifestyle, but for the majority of us, it's more harmful than good in this case because staying at home can lead to depression, and that is something that none of us really want. The way people talk to each other online may also affect their writing when they need to do it more formally. They may become lazy when they type, with also typing, like mixing up their yours is a common mistake online, and it may become difficult to transition to more formal type of writing in business, work, or school. Instant messaging brings back many things from the past, such as the intimacy of writing notes between a friend during class, except now you're in the comfort of your own home. And there's this idea of a private conversation that's kept in instant messaging, whereas the person you're talking to is the only one that's going to read what you're saying, just as long as they don't show it or copy paste it or something like that. But generally, as a result of this, people become more open in their online interactions, and they tend to talk more about things that are really personal about them, things like their family or relationship problems, things like that. And also, people may start philosophy. It may bring out the inner philosopher out of all of us, because people tend to talk more about things such as death and their existence, things that they wouldn't normally bring up in everyday life because it may be a little strange to talk about. But online, you're able to bring up anything and just talk about what you're thinking of at the moment, which makes conversations more diverse, as opposed to just how was your day or the things that are happening around you. Instant messaging allows you to keep friendships alive because you're able to communicate with more than one person at a single time, as opposed to a telephone or telephone. And it allows you to talk to people that you wouldn't normally be able to talk to because of different schedules or various circumstances. And it allows people to disconnect their mind in a way where they are now able to multitask better, because most people just sit on the computer and talk to multiple people at once and have many conversations in their head while listening to music and doing homework and other things at the same time. As a result of instant messaging, some things may have become a little outdated, such as email, and in a way, phone calls are less used frequently now because of instant messaging, especially with the widespread use of texting now. And instant messaging has really changed the way that people interact because it paved the way for texting, and texting is probably the most used medium as to communicate right now. It also changes the way people view interactions because if the conversation isn't interesting, they can just talk to someone else and talk about something more interesting to them, or they could just ignore the person, block the person, and go away, or just do something else, and it's okay because it's all online and people do different things while they're online. It also can lead to less meaningful conversations as a result of this because people are used to jumping from conversation to conversation. And when people grow accustomed to talking online, it may lead to more lonesome social interactions because they're stuck at home or they're talking about the same things over and over again and they're not getting out. Also, people may prefer to express themselves through online interactions, which may be bad because they could find it easier than face-to-face confrontation. So if they have something they want to bring up to a friend but they can't do it in person, they may rely on the internet to express themselves, which is something that may affect future generations or even our generation, my generation. These are some things about instant messaging, and it's a powerful medium, and like anything, it has to be used with some restraint. You shouldn't be online all the time, or if you do, you should spread out your time so it's not all online interactions, and get out from time to time and talk to people in real life so that it doesn't become a crutch. It should be used to enhance your social relationships, so you should use instant messaging to go and plan things with your friends or just talk about homework or things that you should be doing. Like if you need help with something, you could go online and ask someone for help. But other than that, instant messaging is useful. It can be dangerous, but it's just something that we have to get used to now, and that's all I have to say. So thanks.